Hi everyone, this is Raghu and this is my first video. I am going to explain about Google Pay low level diagram. So I am not going to explain the entire Google Pay low level diagram but just the login to UPI pin creation for a new user. So if I am a new user and I just installed Google Pay and I don't have UPI enabled for any of my banks before, and I want to enable now, and I want to do it on my Google Pay app. So I just opened the Google Pay app, and the first thing I have to do is unlock it. So to unlock the Google Pay app, we need to enter the pattern lock. So the pattern lock we can unlock it with the help of login service. The login service provides this functionality, unlock Google Pay, which takes the input as list of integers, and those list of integers is the pattern that we enter on the pattern log. So each dot we represent by a number from 1 to 9. Each dot we represent a number from 1 to 9, a unique number, and the pattern we draw is a sequence of the number selected. So that sequence of number will be stored into a list, and then that will be passed to unlock Google Pay method, and then it will check if that pattern that first we encrypt that pattern, and then we will check if that pattern matches with the context pattern hash. That is the password of the that is the pattern, that is the password, so which was encrypted, like the sequence of numbers which is the password that got encrypted and saved into pattern hash. So we'll check both of them match. If both of them match, we'll return true, and we'll set the user authenticated as true as well, and then we'll unlock the app. So once the unlocking is done, now that the unlocking is done, from the context, so what is this context? So context is a simple POJO object. It's a plain object, but we don't create multiple instances of this object. We create a single instance, and when this single instance will be shared across all the services, this bank account checker service, and then login service, and then the UPI pin generation service, generator service. All these services has single instance shared across, that single instance is shared across all these services. So what is the use of this context? So context will save the current state of the service. So current state, so now we see that we have just logged in. So you see user authenticated is set as true, and then the mobile number will be null, and then the new rest of them would be null. So by looking at the context, I will be able to know that I just logged in, and then by seeing rest of them is null, and then I will be able to conclude that I just logged in. So that is how the context will be used. At what stage I am, I will be able to say by looking at the context. And also context can be used to validate whether I am doing the correct functionality for the given state, right? I should not directly generate the pin without having a bank account and then mobile number, right? So without setting the bank account, without setting the bank, and without setting the mobile number, I cannot generate the pin. If you try to hit the functionality of generate pin in UPI pin generation service, without the bank and then the mobile number selected, we won't be able to generate the pin. The call should fail. So how we will fail that call? By looking at the context. I look at the context, I see that the mobile number is not there, so immediately I will throw an exception. So that is how the context would be useful, and then it will be shared across all the services. Right. So the next is the bank account checker. So now that I have logged in, coming back, I have logged in. The next thing I have to do is I have to register an email with my Google Pay app. So to register, I will use this function register email, which will take the email as an argument, and if it was the registration is successful, it will return a boolean true value. So register email internally uses account manager. So all our Android apps will have account manager. Not only Android, I think iOS also has an account manager. So account manager will fetch all the logged in accounts in our logged in emails in our phone right now. So we will match if the send email through argument is matching any of those list of emails. If there is a match, then we will register. Then we will register that email. If there is no match, then we haven't logged in. First, we need to log in. First, we need to log in into the device. Then we will be able to register. Okay. So now that we have registered the email, that registered email will also be set into the context. So in this function itself, we will set the email registered email. We will update this field to with the email that was passed into the argument. Okay. So the next thing is we need to for the Google Pay to work, obviously a mobile number is required, right? So mobile number, in a mobile there can be two mobile numbers. As two SIM slots, we have most mobiles have two SIM slots, so there can be two active SIMs or one active SIM or zero or no active SIM as well. So what if there is one or zero, then we don't need to do anything. If there is one SIM, then we'll just use that mobile number itself. If there are two SIMs which are both are active, then we will ask the user to select one of them on which he has a bank account, on which he is planning to create the UPI pin. So he will select from the UI itself. He will select the bank account. Sorry, the SIM slot, the mobile number he want to use further. So he will select it, and then that will be set. That SIM will be set, and the mobile number will be updated in the context. So to fetch the active SIMs, we use the telephone manager. So telephone manager will fetch all the SIM details. Like if you see the SIM POJO, it has slot ID, status is active or not, provider is Jio, Airtel, Idea, etc. Slot is 1 or 2. Slot ID is SIM1, SIM2. So yeah, those are the details that would be fetched from the telephone manager. So now we have set the mobile number, we have logged in with we have set the email, we have logged in as well. So the next step is we need to add a bank and then see if there is an account, if this bank has an account which is linked to the mobile number, right? So for user, we fetch all the banks for which UPI is enabled, and then we will show it to the user in the screen. So to fetch all the UPI enabled banks, we use this method fetch UPI enabled banks, which will internally call the NPCI server. NPCI is a third party app, and it will provide APIs that help us get the bank details, account details, etc., pin generation, etc. So fetch UPI enabled banks will, you see the first API that will fetch all the UPI enabled banks